Good afternoon. According to the question, we are told to identify the properties, the entities and attributes. So according to the question, I try to locate these entities. The entities which I got are property ID, are the properties, clients, transactions, and agents. So from the property side, we had the property ID, which was the primary key, and the attributes to the properties are address, city, type, size, price, and the status. And then the agent, we had the agent ID, which was the primary key, and the attributes, we had the name, the contact name, commission rate. Then from there I went to the transactions. I had the transaction ID, which was the primary key, and the attributes I had project ID, agent ID, client ID, transaction type, the date, and the amount. From there I went to the clients. Clients, we had the client ID, which was the primary key, and then the attributes were the name, the contact number, the email, and the preferences. Then when you look at this ER diagram of mine, I had the relationships of this ER diagram. I'll start with so from the relationships that I got, I got the following relationships. The agent, property to agent, that was one to many, which means one property, like many clients. The relationships which I got, property to agent, it was one to many, meaning many agents can deal in many agents can deal in one property. That was the one to many. Then agent to transaction, I got many to one, meaning one transaction can be done by many agents. Then the other which I got is transaction to client. Transaction to client is one to many, meaning one client can deal in many transactions. Then property to clients is one to many. Many clients can deal in one property. Then property to transactions, it is one to one. One property can be dealt with one transaction. That was the entity relationship diagram using the Crows database notation. So the other one that I'm going to record is the Crows database notation. So next is the ER diagram using the chains database notation. With the chains database notation, just like you can see my diagram, managed to get 19 entities from the diagram that I was given. Managed to get 19 entities. The entities that are there, entities that were there, the patient data, graphical location, supply chain, epidemiological data, training, treatment outcome, laboratory treat, resource, visit, records, facility type, the health facility, malaria cases, user, user role, referral, interventions, then system log. And from the relationships, I had the malaria type and user. The relationship between malaria type and the user is 1 to many, meaning many malaria cases can be handled by one user. The user is the medic, who is the doctor. Then the user and referral is 1 to many, meaning the user, who is the doctor, can refer many patients to one hospital, to many hospitals rather. That is the 1 to many. Then the referral and malaria cases have no relationship. Patient and user, the patient and the doctor, can be 1 to many. Is many to 1. Many patients can be treated by one doctor. Then the patient data and the interventions, 1 and only 1 relationship. One patient can have 1 intervention or 1 record. Geographical location and supply chain is 1 to many. The supply chain and the health facility is 1 to many, meaning many okay. Now I'm going to the question of writing the SQL codes. With SQL codes, you can use the server. You can either use XAMPP or WAMP. So when you open your server, when you open your XAMPP or WAMP, we were told to create our database is, we were told to create our database as Crane Management Services. When you go to Crane Management Services on your server, my table was already created, Crane Management Services. So we want to create a table for Crane Management Services. So when you open Crane Management Services, it will bring you to tables, views, stored, procedures, functions. But for us here, we are interested on the tables. So you double click on tables. Then the tables will bring you to, so from the properties, from the table, we'll go to our properties. So this is the table for properties. Yeah. So from there, if you want to test, so from the properties, you go to test. Then when you test, it will take you to tables. So from the tables, we are told to create a table for properties. Then you come to your properties, you double click, then you see the properties. Now that so now the entities, okay, our entity is properties, yeah, but then the attributes in our entity properties is the address, the property address, city, type, size, price, and the status. After knowing the properties, you will click on the third icon on the properties, yeah, on the properties. When you click on it, it will bring you the table which we already created. So the property ID, which is the primary key, you have the property number 1, 15, 18, 23, 24, 34. Then the address is where the property is. These are the addresses: Kampala, Kawempe, Kansanga, and Tinda. City, Kampala. Type, residential. On the types we were told to specify. It's either residential, commercial, or it's industrial. That's why you see it here. Then the size of the property, the price, then the status. The status we are told to specify whether it's available, whether it's rented or sold. Yeah. So that is our database. That is our database for crane management services.